Welcome back to another video. In this one, we're going to take a look at the inspectors, which are in the top left corner. Whenever you select a piece of audio, a region, you'll get two different inspectors, a region inspector and a track inspector up here, as long as you have the sidebar turned on, which is done with this button in the top left. So when I have that sidebar opened up, I have region inspector and track inspector. Let's take a look at the track inspector first. I open it up and there's several things here. I can change the icon on the track, which is this icon right here. So I can change it to something else if I want just by clicking on it. And there's lots of cool icons here. There's icon packs you can download. There's a lot of them. You can also look at the name of the track here. There's freeze mode. This has to do with if you're freezing the track. So if you know about freezing the track, you can right click the track. You can go to configure track header and you can actually add freeze as like a button right on the track if you want. And freezing is for conserving resources. So if you're very, very low on resources on your computer, then you can read about freezing. So go up to the help menu in Logic and look up freezing tracks. Q reference has to do with quantizing. So if you quantize a region, you can have all of the peaks on every region on the whole track contribute to the quantization or just a specific region. So if I cut this up, for example, if I was quantizing everything on the track and I had this region sort of chopped up, then maybe I don't want this region to be quantized, but I do want this one to be quantized, that kind of thing. That's what Q reference has to do with. And then flex mode, this is for if you're using flex. This has to do with changing the timing, moving things left or right, and also changing pitch. And so there's different flex algorithms that you can choose from depending on what it is that you are flexing. So that's the stuff in the track inspector. The region inspector has a lot more stuff. If I open that up, I have mute. And what that does is that will just mute an individual region. So again, if I cut this up, I've got this region right here. If I check on mute, it'll mute just that region. You can also Control M to mute it. And if you right click the region somewhere in here, there's mute. If I go to loop, what that will do is that will turn on looping to the end of the whole project. So as an example, let me grab a piece of the audio here. I'm going to cut this here. I'm going to cut it here. And then I'm going to put this over here. So if you have like a loop that's like a shaker or a tambourine, sometimes it's like a really, really, really small loop. It's like this big or something like that. And what you want to do, there we go. Let's say it's like this big. You want to do is loop it to the end of the session. What you can do is you can click here and you can find the loop and you can drag out like that, but you can see that can be kind of a pain. So you can just select the region and then turn on loop and then boom, it'll just loop to the end of the whole session. So that is turning on loop. You can also turn on quantization on and off right up here in the inspector. And then once you've done that, you can turn on the swing amount for quantization. A fun one a lot of people don't know about is transpose up here. So to demonstrate that, this is just a piece of vocal audio. So let me play this. You can hear it.
Lie awake and realize patience is my guide. Childlike wonder.
Okay, so we got this vocal, and I'm actually going to solo it just by itself. And then if I transpose it, check this out. I'm going to go down -12, so it's a full octave down. Check this out.
Lie awake and realize patience is my guide.
Pretty neat, right? If I go up, so you can go really crazy with this. And then you can also fine tune if you want to go, these are like full octaves, but if you want to fine tune, you can go, just a couple, like -10.
Lie awake and realize patience is my guide. Lie awake and realize. Lie awake and realize.
So we're just fine tuning inside of the full transposition. You can also, once you double click up here, you can type in your own like number of cents you want to go up or down. And if you're into transposing pitch, another fun thing is right on the track itself. If you open this up to add the, let's see, there's a pitch shifter. Pitch right here, pitch shifter. And then you open this up and then you can do semitone cents and you can mess with the mix. And it's a whole other way of doing pitch shifting, which is a little bit easier and more flexible than doing it up here. This is kind of permanent because once you've done this, it's set and you have to come back here and turn it off if you want. You can change the pitch source. So this has to do with the key signature of the song. So whether or not the region is following the key signature of the song or has its own pitch source or that kind of thing. And then flex and follow again has to do with quantization. Gain, if I take this and I go T, hit T on the keyboard and then G and then turn this up or down, that's a great way of turning things up or down. If you've watched my videos, you see me do this many times. But once I've done that, you can see up here gain is reflected. So this is another place to do gain. You can select a region Just select the region up here, and I can come up here and I can double click and I can hit plus 20, and it's going to turn it up 20 dB. Okay. And then if I go to more, there's a whole bunch of other things in here. I can delay this region. So you may have seen me do this in a micro shifting tutorial. I can delay one region and not delay the other. This is where you can adjust fades, fade ins, fades outs, reverses. You can also do that by creating the fade on the end and then right clicking the fade. And you can do a lot of these same controls right here. And I've made a video about that as well. So these are just some tips to give you some ideas for other places to go and do things. If you're new to Logic, this is really helpful because it kind of gives you just a lot of fun, neat little tips that are all in one location. As you saw as I went through these are all available in other locations as well, but they're not all sort of consolidated like this. So check out the inspector. And another really great tip is if you want to know what something is or what it does, click the little question mark up here. And then if you hover your mouse over something, it will tell you what what that thing is right here. And then if you press on command and slash forward, as it says up here, if you press on command and slash forward, it will open up the full help topic for whatever it is that you're hovering over. So yeah, check out the inspector. It's a great way to just learn a little bit more about the different kinds of things you can do with your audio. Check it out.